Hi, Phil Schoenberg, Fastpitch Power. I've had a number of requests. We've started our winter clinics and camps, and I've had a number of requests to put together a comprehensive clarification of terms. That is the terminology that we use consistently in our training and that are used almost always in every clinic that we run, and also in private and semi-private work as well. All of these I'm not going to go into great detail on. I'm going to give you the term and show you what they mean so that everybody understands the language that we use in training our athletes. Every one of these terms is expressed and explained in much greater detail in posts on Fastpitch Power YouTube. So if you want to get more information on it, put it in the search bar and you'll get a lot of really good quality information on the terms that we're going to use. We're going to start with the three basic protocols that we use for training our girls. It's broken down into three protocols: fundamental, muscle memory, and transitional. The fundamental drills are forearm fire and forearm fire with a drive-through. For those of you who don't know what that is, forearm fire is the last portion of the delivery of the pitch. I do an arm circle, my elbow comes down the back side of the circle first, my palm is up, my forearm lags, and from here I fire through and accelerate and extend to my target. Very important: elbow up, elbow down, palm up, fire. Fundamental drill number 2 is forearm fire with a drive-through. What is a drive-through? It's bringing my drive foot toe to my stride foot heel in basically a straight line as fast as my hand goes to my target. So if I'm doing a circle and I get to forearm fire position, halfway down the back side of the circle, elbow down, palm up, I will fire by having my elbow lead to the back of the throw zone, forearm lag, pretend that there's a hook growing out of my hip, elbow picks up the hook, fire and drive. And you'll notice that I am balanced in all of the movements that we are going to talk about. The second series of drills that follow our protocol in our training is called endgame. These are muscle memory drills. Endgame 1, endgame 2, and full endgame. Endgame 1, I reach my glove, my catcher's straight down there, I reach my glove, or better yet, I'll make you my catcher. I reach my glove, it covers my target, directly at where I want that ball to go. I touch the inside of my glove. I don't move my body this way, touch the inside of my glove, do a giant backward circle, palm up, elbow down, I go around forward, palm up, elbow down, and I fire. And I make sure that the only thing that's moving on this drill is my arm. I'm solidifying hand path. Endgame 2, same exact thing with a drive-through. Touch glove, palm up, elbow down, big giant backward circle, right over the power line, right over the throw zone. Throw zone, power line, same thing, we're going to get to that. Touch glove again, pick up the hook, fire and drive straight through, balanced. Full end game, feet together, same body position, lined up to the power line and throw zone. Again, I reach for my target. I touch the inside of my glove with my ball. If my glove is covering my target and my ball is touching my glove, my ball is aiming toward my target. Full end game. I untrack. Now my throw zone's pointing there, but both my hands are still covering my target. I retrack into second end game position. I fire and drive. Full end game without stopping. Untrack, retrack, fire and drive. Nice and smooth. These drills, when you perform them over and over again, will train your muscle memory to repeat the movement correctly. Got to make sure you're doing it correctly. The third series of drills, called transitional drills, they are what take you from drills to the 8-foot circle. And what we're going to be doing now is virtually pitching. It's called reach, track, fire, and drive. I'm starting on the pitching rubber, just like I'm getting ready to pitch in a game, and you get a command from your trainer, from your coach, that says reach. And you reach straight ahead. Stride foot out, both hands covering my target. Track, continue your circle. Track, now I'm in track position. Throw zone, pointing at target, directly over the power line. Palm up, elbow down, fire and drive. That's reach, track, fire, and drive 1. Reach, track, fire, and drive 2. The first command is going to be load instead of reach. Load. Second command, reach, track. We're going to reach and track at the same time. Reach, track. Third command, fire and drive. Again, always balanced, vertically stacked. We're going to get to that in a second. Those transition drills lead to the final transition drill, which is reach, track, fire, and drive 3, and this is virtually pitching. 1 is load, and 2 is everything else, reach, track, fire, and drive. So 1, 2 is everything else. 2, reach, track, fire, and drive. So you do this in sequence. Those are the 3 drill sequences. That is the terminology. Fundamental, forearm fire. Forearm fire with a drive-through. Muscle memory, end game 1, end game 2, full end game. Transitional, reach, track, fire, and drive, 3 versions. Now, a couple of other terms we use all the time. Many of you may know what this is. We want to make sure you do. Drive foot and stride foot. Your drive foot is your pitching hand foot. If you're a right-hand pitcher, your drive foot is your right foot. It's what's on the pitching rubber that loads all your weight into that drive foot, like a sprinter getting ready to come out of the blocks so that you can explode forward into the correctly tracked position to deliver your pitch with consistency, maximum speed, and command. Stride foot is my glove hand foot. Right hand pitcher, left foot. It's the foot that reaches out and lands and gives me a solid foundation to deliver my pitch. Drive foot, stride foot. Load. Load is just what it sounds like. I want to load all of my weight into my drive foot. For me, it's my right foot. This is not a load. Okay? If my toe is pointing up in the air and I can raise this foot, that's not a load. A load, again, is like a sprinter getting ready to come out of the blocks. I can't move this foot. I can push backwards on that pitching rubber. And that's what initiates my explosive stride. Load, very important. Ground force reaction. Ground force reaction is the result, is what results from a really good, strong load and push back on that pitching rubber. When I push back on that pitching rubber, it's not going to move. All the power and energy that I'm pushing back into that pitching rubber is going to come back up through my body and be available for me to add speed and power to my pitch. The power in your pitch comes from the ground up. From the ground up. And then your upper body speed has to keep up with the aggressiveness of your pushback on that pitching rubber. Ground force reaction. Vertical stacking. Also, very, very important. I'm going to do the two of them together. Vertical stacking and power K. Vertical stacking leads to the power K position. Okay? So when I come off the pitching rubber and I land balanced, if you were on the side of me, I'm going to look like this. The letter K. And I am vertically stacked. Eyebrows, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles right on top of each other and parallel to the ground. This is balanced. Any athletic movement requires excellent balance in order for you to perform that movement with optimal power. And in this case, command of a 17-inch square, 43, 40, 35, depending upon how old you are, feet away from you. Vertical stacking, power K, very important. When I land correctly, vertically stacked, power K, I create a throw zone. Throw zone is my power line picked up off the ground and extended in front of me. If my hand, and it never should leave it, if my hand comes around the circle, over the power line, I establish my throw zone. My elbow's down, my palm is up, and my hand fires down that throw zone. If I pointed that throw zone at my target, that's the only place the ball can go. When you land and establish a throw zone pointing at your target, that throw zone never moves. If that's like a jet plane taken off down a runway, if that runway moves at the last second when that jet plane's going 500 miles an hour, you're going to be in trouble if you're on that plane. Point your throw zone at your target. Maintain the integrity of that throw zone without it moving. Fire the ball down it and drive through, and you will have great command of the strike zone. Destination location. My destination, this is very important. My destination is here within the frame of my body. What my hand does going down the throw zone is what my ball is going to do going down the pitching lane. Pitching lane goes from either side of the pitching rubber all the way down to either side of home plate. My throw zone is a smaller version of that, attached to my body. So again, if I point that throw zone down, I want a fastball down the middle of the plate, and I point that throw zone down the middle of the pitching lane, and I get to the end of it without the throw zone moving, that's my destination. Where my hand ends up, the end of the throw zone on every pitch I throw. I don't care if it's a movement pitch, a changeup, a fastball, I've got to get to the end of the throw zone. If I get to the end of the throw zone without it moving, and I pointed it in the right place to begin with, that's where the ball's going. To the end of the pitching lane, that's my location. The catcher determines location. 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 Catcher determines location. You execute by getting to your destination correctly. Pitching lane, just explained, straight line from either side of the pitching rubber all the way down to either side of home plate, that's the pitching lane. Destination, location, pitching lane, throw zone. They're all related to each other. Rudder that steers the ship. This is the last of the terms that we use. There are other terms that we use, but these are the primary terms that we use. The rudder that steers my ship, my glove hand. When I reach for my catcher and I track, my glove hand is pointing at where I want that ball to go. If as I'm delivering and my throw zone's pointing there too. If as I go to deliver that ball, my glove hand moves, my rudder moves, my ship is running aground. Now my throw zone's pointing over there, and the only way I'm getting the ball to home plate with any kind of command is by slowing down. I'm going to have to push the ball there. As opposed to having the rudder that steers my ship, pointing my ship in the correct direction, straight at my target, firing and driving through. So these terms are terms that we use every day. And it's important that anybody who follows our path, who follows our site, and who watches us on YouTube and on Fastpitch Power understands this language. All of our clinic girls understand this language, and when it's discussed with them, they're able to translate it from what they hear into body movement. Very important. I hope that this has been useful to you. If you have any comments or questions, please let us know. Love to help you out on it. Talk to you next time.